Mark, you're looking kind of tan this morning.
Oh yeah, still got the
I
post-cruise
see
tan. Right, I can't. Freaking me out. I'm trying to look at myself. The kids were saying that I got the sunglasses
you
thing.
do. You got the sunglass tan, the dad tan.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh well, a lot of people up in New England are going to be wishing they were on a cruise to the Bahamas
no
after
kidding.
what they just went through.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. And you got the fires down in Florida. I mean,
Yep.
yikes. And so the title and everything today is going to be Fire and Ice. Because we're dealing with all of that and more. We're going to also talk about a tropical cyclone today. Got Horatio out there, and I think it's in the Indian Ocean if my geographic skills still serve me well.
Right.
But let's discuss that and more on Talking Weather, shall we?
Let's do it.
We'll see you there. All right, we are back. Tuesday now, the 24th day of February 2026. Good to see you, CJ.
Good to see you, Mark.
Good to see our crowd. We got Weather Scott helping to keep things moderated in case everybody gets out of control with this dandy of a show we got for you today. Lots to talk about. And we appreciate everybody tuning in. I think I got some captions I can pop up here. There we go. Welcome to Talking Weather. It is the 24th day. The good news, CJ, we only have 4 days left in this month. So people that are angry about the winter weather, it isn't going to last too much longer, or is
it?
Nature doesn't follow calendars sometimes.
No, it does not.
Good to see everybody here. We'll try to get through today's show without any glitches. So far, so good. After switching over to this new platform using the Restream, and good to see everybody on the YouTube. We're going to try to bring your comments in from time to time as well. So let's switch over and show you what we are going to talk about on today's show. And with that, I will share the entire screen. We'll jump over to my other set of windows. There's the thumbnail for today's YouTube and whatever. Fire and ice. Yep. Record-setting blizzard in the Northeast. We're going to talk about that, of course. And yeah, the raging fires in Florida, especially down there in Collier County.
Yep.
Kind of a big deal. So we're going to touch upon all of that. Here's a bullet point outline. Look at everything. The historic blizzard. Power outages continue up there in New England and elsewhere. Got to talk about those Florida fires. And then more winter weather. And I probably, CJ, should have put a fifth bullet in there for Horatio. We do have a tropical cyclone out there, but that's all right. It made the cut, even though I actually made this graphic last night, to be fully honest about it. And I saw Horatio was out there, and I forgot to add a bullet point, but whatever. All right, so national high and low temperatures. I was right that it wouldn't be Florida, but I was wrong because I thought it would be Texas, but instead California chiming in on Monday, yesterday, the high temperature 87, In Ocotillo Wells, I guess that's how you say that. It's not going to be Ocotillo.
Ocotillo.
Ocotillo Wells. And then -20 was shared by 3 wonderful locations up in Minnesota. Salina, however you say it, Indus, and Gunflint Lake. So where are these places? You might be wondering. Well, here's Ocotillo out there in California, and it is just southwest of the Salton Sea in good old Southern Cal, nice and warm out there still. Not too far south of Joshua Tree National Park, if you've ever been there. But let's take a look at it on the Google Street View, if we shall here, to just see what it looks like out there, where it's 87 degrees. Typical Southern California. That's the desert, that's CJ, the Mojave.
Yep.
I love this area during the monsoon season. And even when it's 115 degrees, it's just so different. It's literally like being on another planet.
Right.
And, this is why it was so hot out there. It's the desert. The air is stinking. It compresses. And it was nice and clear yesterday. So we got the national high temperature out here in the arid Southwest, Southern California.
Right.
You ever wondered what it looks like? There you go. What about the -20 up here in Gunflint Lake, right on the U.S.-Canadian border? We also had Indus and Salina, however you say it. But I figured I'd show you Gunflint Lake today. And let's see what our Google Street View person comes up with. Nothing along the lake. That's a bummer. But we can click on some of these icons that Google has put in here. But for now, let's throw the Google Street View person onto the Gunflint Trail and see what it looks like up there. Obviously, this was not when it was -20. This Street View was last September, 2025. It's interesting that it was in September, but everything's still very green.
Right. Yeah, you would think that there would be at least some change. It must have been very early September. You can see on those trees to your left a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit of color in there.
But I would say this is probably early September.
Yeah, and you figure today, except for the evergreans, it is probably quite barren looking. Very cold up there. But I want to go back to the how do I do it? There we go. The Google thingamajigger. So we got the Gunflint Trail Moose area with some pictures, which there appear to be none. So that's good. And then the Outfitters Place. Just to give you an idea geographically of what we're talking about.
Right.
Interesting areas of the country. You can tour up there. Ooh, that looks fun in -20.
It does.
So anyway, -20 degrees up there in Gunflint Lake and Salina. Weather Scott, you should look that up for us, man. Is it Salina, like Salina, Kansas? Is it Salina? Is it Colina? You never know. And we got Indus up there in Gunflint Lake, -20, +87 in California. Where will the high temperature for today be? Probably still California.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to be down here.
Nope. In Texas, maybe. But I'm probably kind of going to be California. We got to get Arizona back in the game and get some high temperatures out of there. All right. So I want to show you a couple of funny tweets here as we get rolling along. I don't know Frank Moreno, but I thought this was funny. Say what you want about the groundhog. That rodent knows weather. And just the other day, seemingly the other day, February 2nd, Mr. Groundhog said 6 more weeks of winter, and people laughed and scoffed. And we found out. And I like this one. Y'all thought I was playing.
Right.
Way to go. So there's that. And then I saw this. This was this is real. Winter weather tip. You ready for this, CJ?
Is that a fire? Yes, it is.
You're not prepared. Here we go.
Oh, I can imagine.
Oh! Good Lord.
That's not a bad idea. I don't endorse it, but that's one way to get rid of the ice.
That's one way to get rid of the ice. Absolutely. So I had to jump off there. That is, it's got to be somewhere. I couldn't catch the language. Maybe that was in Russia or something.
I was going to say that's probably Western Pennsylvania. Wouldn't surprise me. Good old Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Well, I was going to say, though, if Florida ever gets that
Oh,
cold,
yeah. That
that's
that
what
that
y'all will be
definitely would
doing.
be Florida.
That'd be definitely some Florida behavior for sure.
Mhm.
And no besmirchment for
No.
Floridians.
Hey, we own it. We own our weird,
Right.
and
That's
we
right.
we 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 wear it as a badge of pride, so
Let's say good morning to a few people here. We have Nadine, so good morning back to
Hey.
you. This one here, I like that. Sup. So Jaden, sup. What's up, CJ? I like it. And we got Brandon. Brandon's got a question already. Is a storm of the Eastern Pacific? Why I see Mark wearing his infamous tropical cyclone shirt. We got one in the Indian Ocean, I do
Yeah.
believe. Let's see what else we got. Kathy down in Fernandina. You can take a look at the other street views from the past on the same map link. That's true. That's true. Good to see everybody here. Just seeing who all we got. Another one here from Brandon. I thought it wasn't a great an idea because it burned the house down.
It definitely could.
Or like when people try to topple trees
Yeah.
themselves and it comes crashing down on their house, you could bring all the snow and ice off that roof and it could bust in your door
Mm-mm.
or whatever. But yeah, just some interesting tweets there to show you guys this morning. And what do I keep doing? Let's see. I gotta deselect that. There we go.
There you
Still
go.
learning, still learning. So let's go back and see what we got here as we move along on today's show. And I think I got one more funny tweet to show you guys. At least it was interesting. Oh yeah. So this is from Nicholas Isabella. So a lot of hemming and hawing about the plowing. My street hasn't been plowed. What's taking so long? And then when it does get plowed, well, you kind of run into this.
Yeah.
What are we doing, eh?
What are we doing?
Was that a garbage? Yes, it was. That was a garbage truck.
Yeah, it looks like a garbage truck with a plow on the front.
Wow. Hey, good on NYC for being resourceful. Never seen that before.
What are we doing? Trying to plow, but yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
So Allie Jade says, I can't even begin to express how frustrating something like this is. Imagine you're this person. You're shoveling out your driveway, and then another plow comes by and just pushes all that snow right back onto the spot you just cleaned. What's your reaction?
You know,
honestly, thank you. I will reshovel.
You know, Mark, the amount of times that happened to me when I was younger, or I'd be, getting ready for school in the morning when I first started driving. I'd be out. We lived on a main road. I'd have to brush off my car, and then one of the plows would drive past at 20 miles an hour, and you get pelted with rocks and salt and the snow. I feel it a little bit. I feel it. But yeah, if you want to get out of your house, that's one way.
When I show you a video in just a moment from my friend Marilyn that works up at Quick Dam in Pawtucket, Rhode Island.
Right.
There's not going to be any plowing on her street for a while. Wait till I show you this. But yeah, if you're just tuning in, maybe finding our show for the first time, this is Talking Weather. That is CJ. He's down in Florida. I'm Mark in Wilmington, North Carolina. Good to see everybody. Appreciate you tuning in. Let's continue on, see what we got out there in the world of weather. All right, so go back up here. Next up on the agenda, the overall weather picture, not quite as busy as yesterday, that is for sure. But we are starting to see a lot more of this pink color show up, and this is problematic.
Yeah.
These are your red flag warnings starting to show up in the nation's midsection. Yesterday was more windy and dry for Florida.
Yeah.
So it helped to ignite the fires that we're going to talk about. But now down here in Florida, we've got these, let's see what this is. This is a frost advisory. CJ, off the top of your head, how cold did it get inland around your neck of the woods last night? Do you know?
Definitely in the mid 30s. I don't think we made it down into the freezing range, but I know locally we made it down at least into the mid 30s. I'm sure most of the ag sector down here, the citrus growers are screaming uncle at this point. We've had enough.
Well, when we were down there, my wife and my daughter, this chair, can somebody please send me a new chair? I'm just kidding. I'm gonna do something. I got to fix this chair. I keep sinking. So when we were down in Orlando over President's Day weekend, the amount of vegetative damage that we saw,
Yeah,
especially on
see,
the
I haven't
Disney
been up
property,
there,
was
so I don't
insane.
know how bad it was.
Dude, it was really bad.
I can imagine, especially for the more tropical plants that they put for landscaping up there, because Orlando can get cold. It's inland enough. Luckily, locally, there was some damage. We had a couple of plants of ours die. There's nothing we could do. But yeah, I mean, the tropical vegetation really took a hit.
I didn't take any pictures of it. That's on me. But I was trying to
It
enjoy
happens.
family time and not worry about weather
Work.
stuff. But it was very noticeable. In fact, we were at Animal
Right.
Kingdom and they had these signs. And I thought this was a little bit of a missed opportunity for Disney, if I may. The sign said something like, excuse the vegetation or something like that. We had a visit from Jack Frost.
Right.
And I thought, oh, you missed an opportunity there. You could have said Elsa.
Right.
For those of you that know, you know. But then my very smart daughter, Daphne, who should be a marketing somebody or another, said, well, maybe they thought about that at a meeting. And if they said Elsa, it might have vilified her because she killed all the plants with the cold.
Mm.
And I said, well, there was that one moment there in the first Frozen where she went completely bat bleep crazy and froze Arendelle. So
Right.
anyway.
Interesting.
But they did. They blamed it on Jack Frost. And I thought you could have at least said Olaf went crazy. Elsa's had a relapse, something. Dude, this chair, CJ, this is very upsetting. I don't know what I'm going to do. Mark's going to lose his cool. All right. Speaking of cool, very cool in Florida.
Yeah.
Cold even. Some winter weather advisories, still parts of the Northeast and Pennsylvania off the lakes, etc.
Right.
But more benign today, for sure, than what we saw yesterday, which leads us into this. The historic storm, boy, oh boy, record-setting blizzard. This will be remembered for generations. Probably going to give birth to a whole new generation of YouTube meteorologists.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why not? You know, go for it.
Also going to give birth to an entire new generation of Floridians.
Yes, that's funny.
I will tell you, it's nothing like a big storm to make you hate winter.
You either hate it or love it. Exactly.
Yeah, you either hate it or love it. And, Mark, this is, we were talking, about how the Northeast hasn't had a nor'easter.
Right.
And, well, they got their makeup this weekend.
Yeah. Last year, there were none. No Miller A nor no Miller B systems that went up the coast, and it was remarkable to see that. And then this year, we've had this really big one. We had a storm before this one. Winter's back. And I still think the interesting connection that we can draw between 2015 and this year is that big El Nino that was coming on in 2015. It was starting to manifest itself. We're seeing that now. Don't know if they are related. That would be a subject more maybe for Eric Webb to enlighten us about someday.
Right.
But I just find that interesting that we saw that El Nino coming on around this time in 2015. And that was the winter that just didn't quit. I think there were 4 major storms in a row across New England. Is that your beeping or mine?
That was me.
Okay. I thought maybe my
FPL
toaster
reminding me about my bill.
So, yeah, and there's more winter weather coming for the Northeast, which we will discuss as we get further along in today's show. So, speaking of all that, let's take a look at a couple of these videos here from my friend Marilyn Sheldon up in Cranston, Rhode Island. Been there, done that, and going up to the blizzards in the past. This is what it looked like yesterday for her. This is from her house in Cranston. Classic blizzard look, very windy, very deep snow, howling wind, bitter cold. Well, low 30s anyway, but this is what it looks like today. And this is just, see if I can crank the volume on this. This is off of my Dropbox. Let's fire that up.
Day 2. Blizzard of 26.
She said hostage situation.
It is. It's what it looks like. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, how are they going to plow? She said. Look at that.
You don't.
Good Lord.
Wow.
So they make the quick dams, which
Mhm.
prevents water damage. Perhaps they can pivot and figure out some way to keep the snow off your street and your yard. That would be something
That is
else. And then
insane.
it is. That's crazy. And
Is
then they
that
can work on hail.
what is that in the middle of the I can't tell if that's like our mail. No, I see the mailboxes.
Let me get the telestrator.
I can't tell what that is.
So that is that what you're talking about?
That's what I'm talking about. I
Hmm.
don't know if it's a wall, like if she has steps going up to her house but that's what happens
Exactly.
in these types of snowstorms. It blankets everything quite literally. It is beautiful. I can say that looking at it on,
Right.
on YouTube from Florida. But Mark, I was talking to quite a few of my coworkers, my company that I work for my day job. They're based out of West Bridgewater, Mass. So a lot of our folks that work in the office up there live in, northern Rhode Island, southeastern Massachusetts. And that's all they've been talking about. I don't know, how some of them are even getting out today because
Sure.
one of my bosses, one of the guys I direct report to, they had 43 inches of snow.
Dude. Yeah.
43. That is almost 4
Sure.
feet.
But the lake effect machine,
Mm-hmm.
those are rookie numbers sometimes. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah, they are.
So, sometimes you get 60 to 70 inches of snow off of Ontario or Erie.
Right. But the big difference, I would argue, is that a lot of these areas, they have terrain. Not
Right.
that upstate New York doesn't,
Right.
but, you look at Ohio, Erie, Pennsylvania, upstate, it's very flat. It's very, when you add hills and valleys and hollows into that, ugh.
Yeah.
No
And
thanks.
Providence is tough to get around, period. Now with all that snow, in fact, they set a record. Let's jump back over and we'll talk about that. I think I got a post in here from Ian Oliver at Fox Weather and Greg Diamond, one of their producers up there. And I think that's my next tweet here. Yep. So Ian, adjusting the chair again. Amazing, Ian said. 1978 was the New England blizzard. It has been dethroned. Greg Diamond, and I've known Greg for a long time, even before he went to Fox Weather, and Emmy-nominated meteorologist and manager of weather presentation up at Fox Weather. And of course, everybody knows Ian. Come on. He used to be in your neck of the woods, right, CJ?
Yes, he was. He was on Channel 8 here in the Tampa Bay area.
Well, now they're reporting nationally, globally up there on 6th
New York City.
Avenue of the Americas. I've been there a few times. In fact, I got to remember to show you another post from Greg that just popped into my noodle here. But let's get through this one first. They have unseated the infamous blizzard of 78 and set a new record for all-time greatest snowstorm. Record snowstorm for Providence, Rhode Island, 32.8 inches. Of course, this was from 1 o'clock yesterday. Since then, it has gone up. Now we're talking about in Rhode Island, the winter, 37.9. This is that interactive map that you introduced me to yesterday. I can't believe it escaped me all these years. But here are all the different reports. This is the last 36 hours. And the big winner is TF Green AP, whatever that is.
TF Green Air. That's the airport in Providence.
Right. I mean, they have enough room. Just spell it out. But anyway, 37.9. Wow. Warwick, Rhode Island.
Warwick,
And 36 inches in Providence. So 4 more inches since this update here yesterday afternoon. And that's the new one. This is the benchmark.
Yeah.
So there you go.
No, it was definitely, as they say in the Northeast, a wicked big storm.
Yes. And sometimes they say that on their variable message boards. I remember when I was up there in 22 with Matt, they said that. Wicked big storm this weekend.
Yep. Wicked big storm.
Which reminds me, I want to tell you a quick story about when we were up there for that storm in Cranston, Rhode Island. So I've been up there quite a few times since and including 2014.
Right.
And you take I-95 up through the DC corridor, Baltimore, whatever. You go up the New Jersey Turnpike. You go around New York City on the backside. The Cross Bronx Expressway. I'm trying to remember everything. And then you go through Connecticut on the whatever that throughway is. And then you finally, after what seems like forever, you get to Rhode Island. And all the times I've traveled, I would stop in Cranston and I'd go to Boston Market. Boston Market is, well, they're mostly gone now, unfortunately. Pretty good, close to home cooking. Rotisserie chicken, good mashed potatoes. It's
I haven't had Boston Market in years.
Yeah, well, like I said, unfortunately, they've kind of gone by the wayside. But in their heyday,
Oh, yeah.
I would stop in there, and they had one in Cranston, in this nice little shopping area, right next to a Dunkin', of course.
Mhm.
Anyway, all that being said, in 2022, Matt went with me, Clemens, and we went to that Boston Market, and all those signs up there on I-95, the big variable message board said, "Wicked big storm this weekend," right? And we thought it was funny. I probably tweeted it, whatever. We came in, and I was literally wearing what I'm wearing now, shorts and whatever. And the lady behind the counter, was like commenting about it. What are you two, crazy or something? And I said, no, we're up here for the storm. And she asked about that. But what I thought was interesting, because they were forecasting, I don't know, 18 to 20 inches or something like that. This was a pretty big nor'easter that was coming.
Right.
And she said, they always say that. She goes, those weathermen are always just messing around. That's what she said. That stuck with me. Like, what does that mean? Those weathermen are always just messing around. Like, I felt like that's a really interesting, because as a social scientist, that part of what we do, I found that to be really interesting. So I'd love to know where she is now. And does she still think that the weathermen were just messing around with this storm? I guess she might have gotten burned a few times on some forecast, or maybe she's watching a 12-year-old on his YouTube channel that doesn't know what they're talking about or something. I just thought that was an interesting observation. They're just messing around. Not this time. They got it right. So there's that little side story for you. Take it or leave it. All right, let's get back to the CJ's just stunned. He's just stunned silence. It's funny. No reaction. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. It's just
you must have other things going on in your world.
No. Yes, but no.
So there's that. So anyway, 37 inches up there. Nobody was messing around with the forecast this time. They nailed it. And in fact, to that end, incredible forecasting job here. And no, I didn't plan all that to segue into this. Sometimes
it seriously was a great forecast.
Right. Nobody was messing around. And so
and
this
the GFS nailed it.
Yep, so the GFS did well this time, but so did the humans that go in and create these graphics. This was the National Weather Service out of New York, and everything worked out pretty much as expected.
Yeah.
This was this was issued the 22nd. So this was the forecast for the area, and then we saw how everything verified. Pretty darn good. It's good to see them getting the recognition from different people. Well done. Well done for sure.
Well done indeed.
Hey, Marilyn just texted me. She's on. We showed your video a little while ago.
Chat popped up. Did you already play my video? Yes.
Oh, she's on the chat. Well, let's do this. Let's just jump back over and say hello to Miss Sheldon here. Chat, where are you? There you are. Where is she? Let me scroll down. Well, there's a lot of chats today. That's terrific. There she is. Did you already play my video? Yes, we did. But you know what? We can do it again real quick, and then you can comment about it. So another fun fact is Marcel and I put a camera outside the QuickDam headquarters in 2023 or 24. I can't remember exactly which year.
Yeah, I don't either.
They had a light pole out there, and we stuck a camera, one of our remote cams. So this is yesterday, Marilyn. This brings back the painful memories, I'm sure. Of course, this is what she was greeted with today. So we'll have to ask her, what in the world is that thing?
Blizzard 26 hostage situation.
I love hostage situation. That's great. That is fantastic. But yeah, what is that thing right there in the roadway? CJ was wondering about that. So we'll have to see what Marilyn says about that. But good to have you on the chat. Say hello to everybody at QuickDam for me. All right. Let's get back to the presentation. And there we are.
That's awesome.
So Fire time, unfortunately,
Yeah.
with the cold, dry air draining down into Florida. So this is an hour ago. Got the
Mhm.
national fire burning in Florida. It's 25,000 acres. It ignited yesterday in the Big Cypress National Preserve.
Mhm.
And the incredible satellite imagery that we have now through the GOES 19 has
Yeah.
been tracking the smoke plume and the heat from the blaze. Thoughts from you, CJ, since this is your neck of the woods?
So I'm seeing some reports that this was human generated, unfortunately. So somebody, I don't know exactly what happened, but this is one of the bigger fires I can remember since I've lived here. And I will tell you, Mark, I think you have that video somewhere to show
Yep,
later,
I
but
will.
I was scrolling through and somebody that I know from here in Florida had posted a drone video of this fire, and I really thought it was, yeah, that one. I honestly thought that was California
Yeah,
until I did a double take and then realized who was posting it. So this comes from um, a great young gentleman. His name is Chase, Hurricane Chaser Chase. They're um, on the Twitter. He helps run. We have a group of Floridians who are storm chasers, Florida storm chasers. For any of you guys who are local, you guys have probably seen them. But man, that's heartbreaking. The
yeah,
Everglades, as much as some people are like, whatever. For me, the Everglades really, they kind of embody Florida. Even
sure.
though it's just South Florida and it's just a small, that really is a treasure and something that here in the state, we just we treasure, we hold dear, and to watch it burn away like that, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah,
But
especially when the potential that it was man-made and not part of a
Mhm,
natural fire cycle, which we know
yeah,
exists on this planet. We
but
don't need to be helping it along.
right, and unfortunately, Mark, where this is, there's very little road network to get in there.
Exactly.
So, I mean, this is going to continue to burn unchecked. Luckily, right now with the prevailing winds, it's going to burn to the south.
Right.
Um,
Speaking of that,
and you know, unfortunately, that's going to obviously lead to, as it says here in Dylan's post, a lot of air quality issues today along Alligator Alley, the Keys, and southern Miami-Dade. And luckily, it is burning away from the populated areas. My worry, my concern, seeing as how it's 0% contained, is once the winds begin to shift.
yeah.
So this
We
is
need
something we're really going to have to watch. This is not all that far. I believe it's only 11 miles from Naples. So this is something we're really going to need to keep an eye on.
Yep, it's in the vicinity of the I-75 corridor.
Yep.
Very sensitive environment out there, and
Yeah.
this is a big deal. So we'll
Yep.
be checking on this each day as we go forward. So good
Mhm.
luck out there. And we talked about
Yeah.
it yesterday. We know that the blizzard was the big story, but we knew that this could be a possibility,
Mhm.
and a real bummer that it's potentially um, man-made. This
Yeah.
is not part of. It wasn't lightning or something like
No.
that.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. I can't confirm those
Right.
reports, but I had seen some, some chatter that it was unfortunately set off by a human. So, but yeah, this is going to be a big problem as we go throughout the day.
So, of course, on the Twitter, one of the beautiful things about it and social media in general is the hashtag phenomenon. And
Mhm.
as I just did, you can click on a
Yeah.
hashtag of anything and you can find out more information about it. Sometimes people use it to spam, but at least in this
Right.
particular example that I'm showing you, not so much. And there's a lot of good info about it. So there's a lot of different resources. These are some different cams that can potentially see it, so forth and so on. This is what it looks like
Mhm.
probably from I-75. Wow.
No, I think Chase took that off of State Road 29 down there. It's one of the roads that leads into the Big Cypress Preserve. If I
Well,
believe, I could be
serious
wrong.
hats off to Chase for staying on top of
Mhm.
this and bringing it to the attention of everybody, all the people watching this and
Yeah.
Twitter in general. Yeah, it's important.
Yeah, this has been a big issue. There are some other fires that are burning across the state, but right now, I actually did not know we name the fires like
Yeah.
they do in California. Didn't know that. So, but yeah, this is easily one of the bigger ones that I can remember in the last 10 years or so.
Well, hopefully we can get some precip in there. We'll
Yeah.
address that as we go forward. So I'm going to do this tab next. It is tropical cyclone season somewhere.
Yeah,
All
always.
the time. And I saw this pop up yesterday. It got past me. I didn't want to neglect it today. Luckily, no direct impacts to people, but
Good.
this is way out in parts of the Indian Ocean. And just to give you some context here, that's Mauritius, or I think that's how you say that, right?
Yeah.
And it is a tropical cyclone. It is south of the equator.
Wow.
And so it is rotating clockwise.
It is so odd to like, it literally turns you on your head.
Yeah, there you go. So there's a clockwise rotating. And
So
yesterday it was 140 knots. So it's this the year's first Category 5 equivalent cyclone, tropical cyclone, on the same day that we had I think Category 5 winter storm severity index blizzard.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, the WSSI.
That had to have been a Cat 5 on the WSSI.
Sure.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Right. So yeah, good thing is this is not affecting any land areas. But we did want to mention it. I did, because why not? We are hurricane track after all.
Right, exactly.
That's our roots. All right. So in terms of more wintry weather for the Northeast, and we are going to talk about Florida and your rain chances as we go through the next few minutes
Mark,
here. Yes.
Just a note, we got some pretty graphics you might want to use.
Sorry. Oh, yes. For like, right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Go back to this, and then we go over here. There's the chat and the graphics. So you're thinking like the rumors of storms part?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Pretty graphic.
There it is. Now it's time for rumors of storms.
That's right.
Yeah,
and
we got all kinds of graphics.
Yes, we do have some serious rumors developing here. I think you even have the background that goes with it.
There it is.
About that. Now, but I have to do the screen share by going back up to share, right?
If you click on screen share, like if you actually share your screen, and then over at the bottom, you can put us down in the bottom. It has the little thingy.
I gotcha.
Yeah. And then if you click below that, either that or the one to its left was what I always suggest. Yeah, there it goes.
We're good?
Yeah, we're good.
Now you like it? Yeah. Very good. CJ put some time into that. I have to remember sometimes, so thank you. All right. So rumors are that the rich will get richer next week, snow-wise, up in the Northeast. The Euro and the GFS seem to think so. These are some of your accumulative, like, the total 204 hours, right?
Yeah.
Total snowfall. That's what I'm trying to say. This is the Euro. So maybe, and Maryland's just going to like walk out of Cranston and walk to Florida after she sees this. 14 inches for Providence, perhaps, over the next 204 hours. GFS, what do you say? Survey says 13 inches. So very close.
God.
How they are in somewhat of an agreement mode here at hour 186. So here's what it looks like on the GFS. Let's look at the Northeast in particular. And this is the 6C GFS. We got one little clipper system that comes through tomorrow with a rain and snow mix. But then more down the road a piece as another area comes through right about hour 168 or so. Some frozen precipitation. Liquid precip to the south of that, of course. But then, look at that, CJ, some rain on top of all that. We could have some flooding issues.
Yeah.
And stuff gets all jammed up and all the crud that gets in the snow. And if you get too warm too fast, that could be a big problem.
Yeah, it can.
Yeah, a little bit more in the way of snowfall, perhaps for New England before it starts to get warm.
Right.
And if we expand the view, we need to be looking out for Florida here as well. Come on. Oh, we're on the 12. Yeah. It bumped me.
Only one more week, literally, of having to deal with that.
Right. Back to standard daylight time.
Yeah.
Save some daylight. So how about Florida? A little bit.
There's a little bit there.
But what's really important here, let's scroll this back and let's do the total accumulated precip going out. And
it's really not that much.
It's not looking too good. This is a week out.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond a week, still not looking too good, especially for extreme South Florida where the current fire is
Right.
happening out near the Everglades. Man, that's
We
just
need the rain.
Sure.
Yeah.
Really don't see it. Let's check real quick the old SPC. Clearly, with not much dynamics going on, very little in the way of thunderstorm activity, nothing to speak of today.
No, yeah.
Cities out of there. Tomorrow, just general thunderstorm or convective activity.
Yeah.
Across Tennessee over to parts of the Southern Plains, and then
Same thing.
You got to get this south, CJ. We really do. Got to drag
Yeah.
that right to South Florida. But of course, the 4 through 8, not much there as well, unfortunately.
Right.
All right. I think we are almost done with everything. Go back up to the banter in chat theme. Let's see who we have on our YouTube chat to say hello to. My eyes.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Done. So that's a great question.
Yeah.
So I've seen some talk about that from a few of the long range folks. Ryan Maui, in fact, and I'll just pull this up real quick on a sidebar and try to read to you what he was saying about that, because he had a really good way of putting it. Dr. Ryan Maui. Let's see if I can find him here. Ryan Maui. Shouldn't be that difficult. There it is. So he said the other day, 14 hours ago, good news if you like cold winter weather. The polar vortex is cranking away at near historical intensity up near Greenland and wants to share its extreme cold with you. That's what he said yesterday. And he did a morning winter weather update on his Weather Trader site or Twitter account, whatever. But yeah, apparently the old polar vortex. In fact, why not just share the screen real quick and I'll show you what that looks like. A pretty good tweet from Dr. Maui.
Right.
Here we are. So there it is. This is an animation that he did, and it's spinning around up there near Greenland. So the polar vortex, how do we explain that, CJ? It's really a thing.
No, it is. So just like any other issue, just like any other fluid, the Earth is spinning. So you're going to get vortexes of air at both the North and South poles. And what happens is every so often that vortex gets kind of dislodged and the air can travel very far south, and bring along with it that dense, cold polar air. I don't know if we're going to see more outbreaks. Like I said, like you said, Dr. Ryan Maui and some other folks that are looking further down the road think so, but we're starting to get into March, and then it's more difficult for that air to really kind of push further south. So I don't know. Some years in the past where this phenomena happened a lot would be the winter of 2014-15, and then the next one before that, I would say, I remember, it's typically when we have those really big blockbuster Arctic air outbreaks is when you deal with those lobes of the polar vortex. Wasn't it a couple of years ago that we had a really big Arctic air outbreak that brought Mount Washington into the stratosphere or whatever for a couple of hours? I remember that being a thing. That's, when you get these lobes of the polar vortex that kind of shed off and dip south, that's what can happen.
But fortunately, for those of us who are done with winter, which I'm good, I've had a few weeks of playing around in the snow and whatever. March 1st is the meteorological beginning of winter. So yay for that.
Spring, not winter.
Sorry. Right.
Don't doom us.
Right. Yeah,
but
really.
We are going to be moving into meteorological.
What you don't know is the groundhog is just off the camera with a gun to my head saying, keep talking about winter, mother.
Yeah. We are.
Yes.
I'm glad. I think a lot of people are glad. Winter's almost over, folks. Now, that being said, March can bring some really blockbuster winter storms. I don't want to. One that comes to mind that I was always taught about as a kid, the blizzard of 93.
Right. That's right. It was like March 13th, right?
And that was, it was mid-March, St. Patrick's Day weekend.
Right.
So I think once we get into late March, it becomes pretty, and by that point, we'll be talking about severe weather. But yeah, early to mid-March is something to still watch, but I think we're only a few more weeks, folks, and then we start talking about severe weather and, folks starting to warm up and really starting to get that spring thaw.
Right. Sun angle getting higher, days are getting longer, water temperatures coming up. The clash of seasons will definitely be upon us soon enough.
Yep.
March being the meteorological beginning of spring, March 1st. And we'll talk about that early next week, because I think March 1st happens on the weekend, right? It's coming up, whatever.
It's this Sunday.
So Monday, we'll discuss what the heck does meteorological spring mean anyway. So
exactly.
Note to self to do that. All right. I think we covered everything we need to cover for today.
Exactly.
I know that you have your job to do starting at 11 sharp. So we'll roll things up.
Thank you.
Huge appreciation to everybody for tuning in. We love this, and I like doing this. Even if there was 2 people watching, I still would love it just the same. We appreciate any size audience. Don't forget, you have friends, and we know you do. Share the links when we post them. Let's try to grow the show as much as we can, not for our egos, but we want more people that like the weather to know about this.
Exactly.
I mean, the weather's a big deal. It affects everything we do every single day. CJ and I love talking about it amongst ourselves, and we figured we'd bring that conversation to the world, 30, 40, 100 people at a time. So whatever. We appreciate you tuning in and appreciate your comments. And Marilyn, if you're still stuck up there a week from now, we'll send our good friend Tony to come pick you up. And for those that know, that's a funny joke.
Yeah.
Tony's up there. He's in Long Island somewhere digging people out of the snow. So when he's done with that, he can come rescue Marilyn. Old Tony Bright, good friend of ours. Well, that's it for today. Have a good rest of your Tuesday, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern time for Talking Weather. I'm Mark Sudduth, Wilmington, North Carolina. CJ Morgan down in the Venice area. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.
See y'all.